All right, cheers and welcome everyone to Happy Hour with the Lincoln. We are now on episode number 50. That's right. Happy Hour turns the big 50, and I just want to take a moment to give a special shout out to all of the supporters and followers of this channel, or just anybody who's seen these happy hours. I truly hope they helped you in your trading, and I've had a lot of fun doing them. Now, just for a laugh here, before we get started, I have a self-deprecating confession I need to make. I wasn't aware that this was the 50th episode until the tape started rolling. And then I realized I just reached into the cupboard and I grabbed the first whiskey that I had. And it's Gentleman's Jack. Now, why that's so funny is, if you remember, on Happy Hour episode number 25, I celebrated the 25th episode with like a $300 bottle of Octomore. And here I am 25 episodes later, hitting the barrel with a $25 bottle of Gentleman's Jack. It's like... And we all know, true gentlemen do not celebrate with Gentleman's Jack. Gentleman's Jack. I'm not even going to drink that stuff. So anyway, if you have any questions that you'd like to send my way that I could put in some of these happy hours, the email is support@thelincolnlist.com. And as I always say, if I don't get them in any of the upcoming happy hours, I'll at least answer your question. And also don't forget that if you're trying to take your trading game to the next level and you want to align yourself with a professional trading community, the link is right here to our live trade room. You can click on this link. It's also down in the description box. So I got a slate of good questions. We're going to get back to answering questions. We spent the last couple weeks dealing with some psychological topics and videos and other stuff, which I've gotten a great response to. But we're going to go back and answer some questions. So I'm going to get right into it without the Gentleman's Jack. We ain't got time for that. And here it is. Question number 1. Should I teach my kids to trade? I've been trading for a while now. My 2 young boys, 11 and 14, have taken an interest in the stock market. What are your thoughts on me teaching my kids to trade? Are they too young? Will they remember what I teach? I'm not a very savvy investor. Should I send you my kids? No, don't send me your kids. I don't want your kids. I don't know what to do with kids. Anyway, all joking aside, I think what you're asking is, would I teach your kids to trade? Now, before I answer that, let me go back to the beginning and commend you on having 2 young children of 11 and 14 that show an interest in the stock market. Because I don't think I knew what the stock market was until I was like 26 years old. My mind was all over the place, and it certainly wasn't on saving money, and it wasn't on investing. And I really wish that back then somebody would have just taken the time to show me the basics about what it means to buy stocks, what it means to save money on a monthly basis, and what it means to invest. So regardless of what your skill set is as an investor or trader, and, as long as your children understand what basic mathematics are, they should have no problem just understanding the basic concepts of like I said, what is a 401k? What does it mean to just invest every month? How important is that to your future? What would your money look like if you continue to invest and you continue to save? If you teach kids that now, then they'll be so much better off in their 30s and 40s just with the way they manage money, on the decisions they make when it comes to money, and their whole life will be enhanced. And especially when you consider what schools are teaching kids now that's irrelevant to them finding jobs, working their way up the corporate ladder, and succeeding in life, it's definitely not too early to teach them the value of investing. Now, trading is a completely different animal. That's completely different, but who knows? Maybe you got 2 little savages running around the house that are ready to just chomp at it. That might be a little bit too intense for children, but definitely it's never too early, and it doesn't matter what your skill set is. Teach your kids how to save money. Teach them the power of long-term investing. Show them what $1 would turn into later on, because if they get that in the frame of mind early, they'll save when they're young adults. They'll make better decisions when it comes to money. And like I said, by the time they get 30 or 40, they'll have a good amount of money. They should have a good amount of money sitting aside. So never too early. Teach your kids, but don't send me your kids because I don't know how to take care of kids. Anyway, let's move on to question number 2. Question number 2, what made you come back? Hi, Doug. In a few of these videos, you talk about your journey of ups and downs in trading. You say you started in 1999, quit in 2001, came back in 2003, didn't profit until 2005. Why do you think you came back, or what made you come back? I ask because I find myself in a similar situation, having failed at day trading in 2012 and now wanting to try again. I really want to try again, but I'm not confident at all. I I think he said failed once is what you're trying to say. Failed once, so my thinking is I will fail again. Any advice? Yes, I do have some advice. So let me go back to the beginning of this question as well. What made me do it? Now, I think I've answered this before in a happy hour. And everybody's different, but the thing with me is I always want to feel like I've given something a fair shake. Like if I give 100% of myself, 100% of my dedication and effort to something, and I fail, I can live with that. I mean, that's one thing my dad always taught my brother and I is you don't want to be the guy sitting on a porch swing with a bunch of regrets. So if you feel that you want to do something, you go for it. If it doesn't work, that doesn't matter. What matters is you won't have to carry that regret, right? That's the worst thing that you can do is have the regret of, well, what if I could have been? So that's kind of been bred into me ever since I was little. And I knew that I really didn't give myself 100% fair shake at being a trader when I was failing. Yes, I work really, really hard, but I wasn't prepared for a stock market correction. I didn't work that hard at it. I didn't study that much. I had a little thing that I was doing, but I wasn't prepared. And as time wore off, as I said before, and the pain of failing and being angry, once that wore off, I started to realize there was some good things that I had done. And if I could have just avoided that market correction, or it wasn't so bad, I could have survived. And I did some good things. I could do good things again. I just need to fix this problem. And that's what made me want to come back. I said, I got to go back and try it one more time and to see if it works. This time, I'm going to learn everything that I can. I'm going to change my approach. I'm going to change everything about it. And I'm going to even change the way I live my life. So now you're sitting here. I don't want you to think that just because you screwed up once doesn't mean that you're going to fail again. I mean, you have coaches that had failing teams and got fired. They turn around and they win a Super Bowl or a Stanley Cup years later. They just needed to be in the right situation. So the first thing that you need to do, if you're somebody that's like that, you're bordering on the fence, or maybe if you're just quitting and you're thinking, man, is this right for me? Sometimes we do need to take a step back, and recharge our batteries. But I want you to think of this. Rather than think about you failing, maybe you blew up a account or you lost a lot of money, rather than do that, think about what it is that you did right. Think about the good things that you did, the good decisions that you made, the good trades that you made, and why you made these, and all the good stuff that you did. Then think about the bad things. And when you start thinking about them, don't think it just from the basis that you lost money. Think about the actual decision that it was, okay? Because most of the time what you're going to find, it was a bad decision and you knew it was a bad decision. Example, revenge trading, all that kind of stuff that we talk about. And then try to figure out, hey man, if I could fix this, you don't have to fix all of it at the beginning, but if you could just cut it in half, what would the results be? And that was my thing. If I just said, man, if I would have just took out September of 2001, actually August and September, if I just took those 2 months out of my trading, what would my life be like? Completely different, okay? But back to this topic, don't worry about failing again. Because I tell you what, if this is how you feel right now, and if you're somebody that feels this way, that's what you do not want to regret. I swear to you that when you get older, you will regret not giving another try. Because you will always ask yourself, could I have done it? Was I made for this? I wish I would have. So you got an opportunity to sit in front of you right now for you to get back in. You get the hell back in. You get back in, and if I can do anything to help you, I'll do what I can. But do it. Do it. Because even if you fail again, that's fine. I know you don't think it's fine, but it's better than dealing with the regret. Just hang in there. So let's move on to question number 3. Last question will be setups. You never talk much of setups and happy hours. I think it would be a great benefit to everyone if you did. It would help us newbie traders learn the right tactics. I like that word, tactics. Anyway, there's a reason why. I think I've discussed this before. I'm not sure. But I get a lot of questions about setups. Well, first of all, the happy hour format doesn't lend well to sharing setups. You need to show charts on a computer or something like that. And it's just me here rambling in front of the camera. So it's difficult for me to do that because drawing in the air doesn't do you any good. The other thing is this is not what happy hour was for. I truly believe this now with all my years of trading, and I'm sure you guys do too that's been around for a little while. Setups is just one little tiny piece of what makes you successful. To me, it's like, this is how much chart reading skills you need, and this is how much I'm going like around the world. I can't put my arms behind my back, but that's what I'm doing, going around the world. That's how much psychology you need, because it's real easy to make the decision. It's difficult not to have tricks played on you. The psychology part. And that's what we want to focus on. We want to deal with people. It's like, man, what am I doing when I'm down on my luck? You know, where do I go when I'm ready to quit? You know, how do I go back into trading? You know, how do I lose money and then get up the next day with a positive attitude? What kind of spin can I put on it? How can I isolate my mistakes? How can I stop sabotaging myself? That's what makes trading successful traders, figuring that stuff out. Setups, that's the easy part, trust me. That's why I don't do it, because the real important thing is psychology. And don't let anyone ever tell you that they can give you a great setup and it's going to make you rich, because it won't. It could be the greatest setup in the world, but if you're not mentally prepared to handle the rigors of trading, then you're going to screw that up. You're going to sabotage it. It's just not going to work. And that's why I don't do it. So anyway, guys, we had a great happy hour. Happy hour 50 was a bang. I don't want your kids, but I want you to teach your kids how to not trade. I want you to teach your kids how to invest. I want you to teach them the power and the greatness of what it means to invest and how much money they'll have over time and how their life will be enhanced. I don't want you to give up. I don't want you to have regrets. If you got a chance to come back to trading or you're thinking about walking out on trading, take a moment to think about all these good things that you did and build on that. Forget about what you did wrong. You can't go back and fix the past. You can only deal with the future. And I don't talk about setups. I don't want to do that in this one. That's what the other videos I do for, market mutterings and stuff. So on that note, I want to say cheers. This is a fake glass because there ain't no way on our 50th am I bringing up this gentleman's Jack. I ain't even going to drink. I'm going to pour it back in the glass because it's not worthy of 50. And maybe on 51, I'll bring up something nice. As always, if you guys have any questions, support at thelincolnlist.com. Until the next happy hour, take care. Cheers.